Hello, everyone. It's Yogi here. I hope you're well. Good evening. And yes, it's 8:45 in the UK time. Okay, I hope you're well wherever you are, from different time zones. And I hope you have been having a great stitchy day. And every day is a beautiful day for stitching. And today is no exception. So today I'm coming back to this piece today. Maybe the last 3 4 weeks I've been teaching probably a little bit more than my usual number of classes, so I can kind of feel it. I can feel it a little bit in the last few days. So today, nice and easy. 14 count is my go-to when I'm feeling, a little bit less focused. Maybe this is not the best day to work on the blue suit method, which requires a little bit more focus. Nice and easy 14 count is my choice today. So this piece is one of the 14 count projects. They came as kits from this company called One Day I Will Remember. I think it's called Max Stitch Design or something like that. And I found them on Amazon many years ago, quite a few years ago. And I kind of just gradually bought more and more kits. And now I have 4 of them without knowing. I was getting myself into sort of full coverage type of pieces. And prior to that, I was doing what I did yesterday, dimensions kit. So it's a brand new experience, but it taught me a lot and also opened up this I nearly said black hole. No, rabbit hole that I fell in with the heaven and earth and full coverage in general. And I'm loving it. So they came as a kit. So everything you're looking at here is from the company. Let me show you the markup here. It's absolutely beautiful. So this is a piece of artwork by John O'Brien. Some of you might be familiar with John O'Brien. He's got quite a few artwork being converted to cross-stitching charts by Artisy as well. You can find quite a few pieces of artwork. And this one is called Twilight View. And as you can see, this is, really, really beautiful, nice street of this back street in Paris. I'm pretty sure you can see that there's Eiffel Tower looking silhouette in the horizon there. So overlooking Paris. And the color scheme is just so vibrant. And, night view sometimes can be, well, a little bit dark, I guess. It's a night view. But this is totally different story. This is lively and colorful. So this piece I cannot remember when I started this, maybe over 2 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, something like that. And little by little, because, I kind of started one of the 14 count kits that I bought from this company, but I didn't know how to stitch it properly. So I kind of went back and forth, starting and stopping. And this time, I think with this piece, I started more seriously, more focused since maybe sometime last year or a little bit before that. And this is where I am today. So, it doesn't look like much, but then again, I've got quite a lot of projects going on here. So I started from upper left, page by page. So this company, they supply paper charts. So I have been trying to work with paper charts, turn them into PDFs, etc. Struggle a little bit, but now I have them in proper PDF format, supplied by the company. So if you ever bought stitching kits from this company, just write to them. They will supply you a digital version. So it's pretty good. So now it's a different deal. I'm now working with this project on my saga here, so I can pretty much work whichever way I want to do rather than page by page. But previously, for 2 pages, I worked top to bottom from the left and almost completed The bottom page still needs a little bit work to go, but I have completed the page 2, I think. And now I'm on page 3 on the right side here. So this is not a full page. I just kind of arbitrarily selected this area, and which I'm going to be working on today. And I'll explain a little bit more about that later on. So I want to show you my progress here. Not that one. Here we go. So, oh, this is from the last session. When was the last time I worked on this piece? In March, guys. I worked on this piece sometime in March. Time flies, and we're almost June. So I'm going to delete this sprint here, okay, and start a fresh sprint in a bit. But I want to draw your attention to the percentage. I'm currently at 11.4. It's wonderful. Two digit, over 10% is always really exciting. And this piece, okay, so the list on the left here is not totally accurate. It does not have French knot. This is just conversion issue with the chart, but it does have back stitches. And so it's pretty exciting. I'm looking forward to that. I haven't got to that yet. And also the number of colors is actually the modest 55 colors. So it doesn't, require tons and tons of colors to make it beautiful. So I'm going to start a sprint here, right in front of you. Okay, Susan, I'm doing it, okay? And this is a little counter that's going to capture every single stitch I'm going to be making today. So I'm really excited. Nice and easy Thursday evening stitching for me. And how about you? Let's have a look. Who have I got here with me today? Let's have a little look. Start from the top. Oh, Sarah. Sarah says, hello, stitchy friends. First to report to the chat. And we also have Rajal as well. Happy Thursday to you as well, Rajal. And Janine, nice and early for a change, Janine. Yes, says hello, Yogi and Stitchers. And we also have a Walkaway as well. And Amanda is also here. And who else have we got? We have Sophia. Is this Sophia Stitching Love? Yes, hello, welcome. And Steve is also here, our gentleman stitcher. And Alisa Campbell is also here. Hello, hello. If you're new to us, welcome. And also, is it Mary? Mary Solas is here as well. And Emma is also here. Emma Connolly, hello, hello. And Love Drunk, great to see you. And Karen Sutherland as well. Linda Diamonds. And Busy Mom is reporting from Work Club as usual. We're here. Salute to you. And Cindy is also here from New York City. Hello, Cindy. And Cindy says, I was watching yesterday's recording while I work. Beautiful pattern this afternoon. Yes, thank you very much. I mean, every day we're blessed with a lot of beautiful, beautiful artwork and being turned into, cross-stitching pattern. It's so wonderful. It's like creating painting, one pixel at a time. And so welcome, Cindy. And Heather House is also here. And Sarah VM as well. Great to see you. And Sola is also here. Hello. And stitching, Betty Hankins. Great to see you, Betty. And Grace as well. Grace Houston. And Susan, our lovely Susan is here. And Bluebell. Great to see you, Bluebell. Anna. And Lizzie is also here as well. Great to see you guys. How wonderful for you to join me. And let me know what you're stitching today. Okay, today for Yogi is nice and easy, but who knows? On your end, maybe you're battling with confetti, fighting ninjas. I don't know. I fight zombies on a regular basis with computer games. But, today is not going to be a battle with ninjas. Okay, so this chart, as the number of colors suggests, there are only 55 colors. So naturally, there are less sort of, confetti in this chart. So it's quite nice, really, really nice. And so let me bring on my work mode here. So previously, first of all, this is 14 counts, and also the Ada has got slight blue tint there. So if you think you see a little bit of bluish color, you're not imagining it. It's actually got a tint of blue, and so I'm stitching with the floss supplied from the kit. So this is Egyptian cotton, and I believe, and I really like the texture of the Egyptian cotton. So really enjoyable. And so I think if I remember back in March, the last time I worked on this piece, time flies. Do you not think this year is just ridiculous? I feel like we just finished our New Year marathon not very long ago. And lo and behold, we're in the middle of the year pretty much. It's going to be June very soon. So last time I worked on this piece, I worked with, I think it was min to max, minimum to max. And I just decided to work within this area, which is quite large for me. But, this is not super confetti, so I think I've been doing well. And you can see the outline of this, the rooftop being shaped there. So today I'm going to continue that process. So I have no idea what number of stitches I'm currently on. So, with min to max, you start from the colors has got minimum number of stitches and take care of those, loose stitches and slowly building up. So this is the great thing about a saga. It basically, you can select any area, any number of blocks, and it calculates the number of stitches for you within the area. So you can work, any size area of your choice. So let's have a look. I want to say the next color. Whoa, goodness. Let me sort it properly, okay? So, let me select, set up properly here. So, the next color is 75 stitches per color, and going up, the next color is 128. So today I think I'll be flying very slowly, but flying, okay? And Lynn, hello, great to see you. Lynn says, hi all, with how many hands, Lynn? It's terrifying. What's happening with you? Why do you have like 10 hands? And great to see you, Lynn. Hopefully you've got all the cheese and cheese straws and crackers ready. And for a spot of stitching as well. Oh, Susan is winding floss. Relaxed time. Well, Susan's going to get bored very quickly, so you're going to be dying to stitch something very soon. So today I'm going to start in order. So basically, when you're stitching this way, the decision to pick the next color is taken away from you in a good way. So you just follow the chart, really, which is quite nice. So the next color, or this coming color coming up, is actually 3371. Is quite strong color, almost 310. Very, very, very close. So I'm very happy. I like to start with a strong color here. 3371. I think it's a brown, dark brown. 3371. And I really need to make a new set of floss cards for this one. 3371. Yes, indeed. It's very, very dark. So I've got like tons and tons of stitches. So I am going to take 2 pieces, because these, I cut the floss here quite long, and normally I fold it in half. But I've got 75 stitches, so I am going to take 2 pieces. And so I'm doubling doubling the length here. Sarah is working on Pilgrim today. Only 2 colors. Oh dear. Is it like monochrome type of project? Oh, that doesn't sound very relaxing. Or maybe it is. I don't know. I've never tried 2 color projects. But hello, great to see you. Bluebell says, I'm relaxing for the last hour before heading off to bed for the night. Yes, a nice and slow stitching. Join me. Here we go. So, and let me do the threading here and turn on. I'm going to turn on my 5x5 with this project because I'm traveling pretty far, so I need all the help I can get. So normally I do 10x10, but these ones I actually gridded 5x5 at the center as well. So here we go. Let me look for, oh dear. Okay, so this one I've done most of it and I've got a little bit more to go. So let me find my spot here. I don't want to start from, from the wrong foot here. So I think this is correct from the center. I was feeling quite ambitious. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 by 4. So you can do the math. A lot of stitches. So 1, 2, 3 and 1. Okay, from here. Let me zoom in a little bit. Nutty Star says, hey Yogi, I'm working on a custom chart of my cats. Oh, that's wonderful. So you've got your cat's picture charted. That sounds really nice. A lot of cat lovers in this chat. Well, a lot of dog lovers, a lot of animal lovers. Just cut this bit off. And also I've been getting up quite early in the morning because I've been doing a lot of covers for other teachers and they're all at kind of different times. My own regular classes, I tend not to start super early, but with covers, you have to do what you have to do. Am I correct at all? It doesn't look correct, does it? Over here, 1 stitch. Already, I'm a little bit lost. So I'm really happy that I'm doing. Oh, I think there's 1 stitch here. That's a little bit iffy. Where am I exactly, guys? Help. Oh, I think I'm totally wrong, guys. What did I say just now? I didn't want to start with mistakes, but I have already. So let me double check here. So these are, oh dear. No, it's not from here, is it? This is not correct. And I bet you probably can't work it out from the chart because there's so many stitches. Okay, those 2 might be correct. And then the next one is to the block on the right there. So it's okay. I started, the first stitch was correct and then just went pear-shaped. Janine says, I'm working on 14 count right now, but I will switch to my counted piece after dinner. Oh, are you doing printed stamp kits? Okay, so those 2 are correct. This one, what is happening with this one? I don't think this one's correct. Is it? No one knows. I'll take a guess. I'm so confused. Do you think I should narrow it down? Reduce? Do you think I should reduce the area? With my brain power today, this is going to turn into disaster very quickly. Let me just find my spot here, okay? 3, okay, that looks right. And those 2 are here. There's 1 stitch here. Okay, I found it. It's right here, right here. Let me just stab my needle there, as you know, just to mark it. Yeah, sometimes it can be challenging, you know. 1 stitch at a time. Susan says already stitched on traveling library today. Confetti hell. And yesterday, I remember we're talking about marking stitches. We're talking about, you know, we're getting ready for the paper only challenge. And Susan apparently saying that even with traveling library, she doesn't mark most of the stitches. Is that correct? That is just, you know, not acceptable. That's not acceptable behavior. That's just alien. I think this is the correct spot. Okay, I'm good. All is well. Oh, right, Sarah. So Pilgrim is long dog samplers. Meme Fusion says, how long do you prefer the threads you're working with? Good question. So currently, this particular piece is actually double in length because I'm just too lazy. I just want to keep flying. So this is double. Otherwise, with 2 strands, because I cut them differently, different lengths for single strand and double strand. For double strand, I fold them in the threads in half. I normally take single strand, fold it in half to make 2 strands. So the length is a little bit longer. How long is it? Let's have a look. I think for single strand, I normally cut them around 30 centimeters. And I'm just having a tape measure here because I've got markings for single strand and double strand on the edge of my table. So I just use the marking as a guide. So for double strand, to fold in half, I cut the threads roughly about 50 centimeters. So 50 centimeters for double strand, so I can fold it in half, make it around roughly 25-30 centimeters. But for single strand, if I remember correctly, let me just do it one more time. It's about 30 centimeters, something like that. Yeah, it's about 33 centimeters, but it's very personal, arbitrary length because I just use my forearm to my middle finger, the fingertip, roughly around there. So somehow it works well that way. But you have to adjust for yourself because everybody's got different length of distance they prefer. When it comes to traveling with the thread and the arms as well. So everybody, maybe it's based on the length of your arms, forearms. So you have to make adjustment for your arms. If you have super long arms, I don't know. Maybe you need them a little bit longer. Sound Station says, holy cow, how do you not lost in all that? The answer is I do. I don't know how. I am lost. But I think so far so good. I found my spot. For now. Yes. Janine says, Yogi, is that person in window or is it my glasses? Who? Who's in the window? What are you talking about? What window? Are you talking about a mock-up? Or are you seeing things? Lynn. Kashi, hello. Good evening. And Emma says, I'm working on Glory of Autumn Dimension. Wonderful. Okay, here we are. I'm doing a little bit of Danish stitches as well. I love pulling these threads. They're so robust. Because if I did this with DMC stitching this length, the threads will probably fray and weaken a little, in a bit. But these are just so strong. Janine says, I tend to work on my stamp kits during the daylight hours and my days off, and then counted projects at night. Interesting. I would have thought evenings, you probably want to work on stamp kits then. If I want to do work on confetti, if I could, I'd probably try to do it in the morning because I'm just able to focus a little bit better. Vadu, he says, Yogi, why don't you start from the top and stitch down? Oh, do you mean for this color or in general? If you're referring to this color, I have done most of the stitches from the top, and now I'm, coming down to the bottom. But if you're talking about stitching method in general, I'm doing minimum to max within this area. So, I just block off an area and allow the app to calculate for me. And I just follow the number of stitches rather than, any particular direction. It's quite fun to do because gradually you just build up so many stitches at one time. You're just flying at the end. Grace Houston says, oh, yes, Susan, regarding Susan not gridding. I know, I don't know how she does it. I can understand it if you're doing simpler charts, non-full coverage, small pieces. But with full coverage, I don't know how you track your stitches without marking. It's a mystery. I think, Susan, you need to do stitch with me so we can watch you stitch and verify your claim. Oh dear. I love the sound as well. It's so therapeutic. Walkaway says, I'm working on my little sad girl. All that was left to love. I'm nearing 60. 60 what? 60%? That's amazing. How come you're stitching so fast, Walkaway? Are you in the alien club? I need to verify with with Sarah there is walk away in the Alien Club. Because I remember the first time you showed the web of this project, I only saw a forehead, a little bit of forehead of this sad little girl, and lo and behold, within like a couple of weeks, you're like the entire face is there, and now I think it's down to the neck and a lot of hair as well. How do you do it? That is totally not normal. So Steve is working with 18 to 20 inches long thread wise. Susan, that is not a valid answer regarding knot gridding. Susan says, Grace, I'm stitching the fabric. That's how I keep track. What does that even mean, Susan? It means nothing. That's an alien reply. And Lizzie, as usual, cannot decide whether to stitch or what to stitch. There are a lot of stitches, aren't they? It just looks pretty mad. But I like it. Let me see where I should go next. It's like a game. You just need to keep finding the next spot to go. Brittany, hello. Brittany says, hi Yogi, I purchased Winter Reading Nook by Amy Stewart. I went with regular size max colors. Oh, that's the same as me then. And Brittany says, reminds me so much of my two cats, Puma and Saffron. Yes, how nice. Yes, I know. There's so many pieces out there that you can, you know, really relate to. And I love that piece. I love that piece. And you're going to enjoy it because, you know, that chart, even though, even with max colors, it's, it adds a lot of details, but not too confetti, not too confetti. There's some areas, the cats, they're quite confetti, but the rest, not too bad so far. Two stitches here. Means Fusion says, no wonder my hands were getting tired. I was using like 80 centimeters, 1/1. What? 80? That's like double the length. Why would you cut the thread so long? Yes, I think normally, for me anyway, a good guideline would be from the tip of my middle finger down to my elbow, somewhere there, because it means that you can, you know, because a little bit you're going to fold the thread a little bit to keep the thread on the needle, and then the remaining length is just about right for you to pull the thread up without having to lift your entire arm too high up. It's going to create a lot of fatigue, I think. And particularly if you park with, you know, single strand, you don't want them to be too long. Okay, where am I? I lost my spot already. Okay, I've got it here. I've got it. I've got it. It's okay. And it's quite exciting, you know, when you find the right spot. It's almost like trying to solve a puzzle. Oh, Lynn says, Yogi, what you're stitching looks like someone is at a window. You mean here? That's a little bit scary because when you say window, I looked out of my window, even though my curtain is closed, and I can still see through the curtain a little bit. And I thought you were talking about my window. You know, today the theme is Twilight Zone. Okay, dun dun dun, Lynn, do not scare Yogi. So you're talking about this. Is that a person? I don't think it's a person. It could be though. I don't know what it is. I'll probably need to zoom out to be able to see it. But very often, sometimes, you know, when you go to live streams, and there'll be people trying to scare the streamers, saying, hey, there's something behind you, or something outside your window, or we just saw a black shadow just flowing through. Do not do that to Yogi, okay? I get scared very easily. Hi, Lona. Great to see you. And Nido is also here as well. Oh, I need to catch up. So Nido is working on stamp kit as well. One day I will be doing that as well. I know. For Susan to work on traveling library, no gridding. That is definitely an alien behavior. Oh, Lona's dealing with flooding in Mom's house. Oh dear, so it's either tornado or snowstorms or earthquake, and now it's flooding. Oh dear. I hope Mom is okay. So far, so good. It was slightly shaky start, but I think I found my grounding. I'm guessing. And Mandy Moran is here. Janine says I'm stitching a white flower with an orange center, and my fabric is legit rainbow colored. Your fabric is rainbow colors. And Janine says it's making me very nervous. It's making me very nervous as well, Janine. I feel nervous for you. What is going on there? White flower with orange center. And how come your fabric is rainbow colors? Are you using a dyed fabric? Where am I exactly? Here. 1, 2. Oh dear, I think 1, 2, 3. Okay, this one is, you know, a very gentle reverse stitching is happening spontaneously. Do not worry, everything's good. So from here, there should be 3 stitches. So, and this one is looking a little bit dodgy as well. Let me redo it. Hi, Donna. Great to see you. 5 hands, Donna. What is happening to the stitches? They've got so many hands. I only have 2, and neither of them is working very well. Oh, this needle doesn't like me. Let me swap. Okay, where am I exactly? Here. Lona says, I've already emptied 50 gallons of water from the shop. Oh dear. Is it from the rain? Has it been just raining a lot? Where's the water coming from? That is not good. I mean, Lona, at some point we need to think about maybe move to another city, another town, somewhere that doesn't have, you know, natural disaster every 5 minutes. Walkaway says, I think my stitching has got faster. We had 3 days this week where I have stitched 1,200 plus stitches. That never used to happen. Take me to your leader, Sarah. Take Walkaway away. I think she has, you know, confessed of her alien status. That is strange. So what happened? 1,200 is a lot for a day. Because I was just so astonished by the speed. Because your piece, you know, the face just you know, appearing so fast. I didn't know what to do. I don't know how to make of it. So what changed? And those stitches are 4 crosses, right? Even with 10 stitches, that's fast. So I don't know what's happening. Yes, Lona says, Lona is doing Sarah's job. Now we have 2, 2 stitches. Yes, Sarah. Yes, Renee. It's official. You're in, okay? And from Lona as well. Yeah, big welcome from Lona. Lona and Sarah, they're both aliens. So it's a great honor to be offered the alien diet, which you know, Walkaway is going to be on from now on, okay? Our biscuits and milk. So what happened? Some sort of mutation happened. Oh, so mom is cross stitching as well, Lona. That's nice. To take the mind away from the terrible situation. That's a great idea. I hope mom is well. Sending my love to her and you. Am I, I'm not sure where I am. This bit doesn't match. So, okay, 1, 2. There's one over here. Oh dear. Okay. Those two are, not supposed to be here. A gentle, gentle reverse stitching, okay? No one noticed. You didn't notice. Oh dear. Suzanne says I'm finishing up with this 10 by 10, then switching to Spirited Away. That's the anime piece, isn't it? I'm really ignorant with anime, so. Natty, hello. My voice just went really high pitch saying Natty. It's been a little while. I hope you're well. And Lefty has joined us as well. Lefty, Gemini. So Walkaway is doing full crosses. Wow, that's fast. That is just not normal. I'm not sure we can put up with, this kind of behavior. Oh, I am going to. Oh, this bit. So these 2 rows, these 6 stitches, they're one row too low. So I am going to fudge. I think this is fudgeable. But let me do this one correctly. And then I'll fudge later. Can you see what's happening? No one can. It's too many stitches. I do not blame you. I can hardly work it out myself. And I've got 29 stitches to go. So I'm going to end this piece. Very nice. Grace says, I think Renee grew an extra arm and hands. So is that what's happening? When the stitchers waving with 5 hands, does that mean they just, keep growing new hands? How do you do that? Do you eat avocados or kale for that to happen? 3371. 3371. I have 2 hands. I'm pretty sure. 28 stitches to go. Walkaway says it's Komari influence. What does that mean though? So you just watch Komari and you just get faster. Someone's raising the alarm bell. Oh, who is doing it? If you're referring to this area, I know, I'm aware of it. These 6 stitches, they're 1 row too low. Bluebell says, Yogi, the stitches below is 1 row too high. Too low, do you mean? So these 4, Bluebell, are we talking about these 6 stitches? If that's the case, yes, I'm aware of it. And I'm going to, I have to fudge it. So these 2, I'm going to fill in with similar colors. Do not worry, Bluebell. Everything's under control. So Lona, so you're actually gridding. Do I remember correctly? Lona is also a non-gridder. I know, we have so many aliens here. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So I will fix this area when I come to it. One, 2, Brittany says, I've got my first page finished on the Grand Library. Really? That's fast. You know, Heaven and Earth page is much bigger comparing to Rouge page, for instance. So every single chart companies, they've got their own sort of arbitrary page size. But the Heaven and Earth pages are bigger. And these ones, I have no idea. These ones are probably similar to, I don't know. Susan Williams, hello. Oh, double Susan today. You two can have a fight. Susan Williams says a lot of beige and browns. That would drive me crazy. I mean, this page, this piece, really? I love browns. Not a lot of beige. Not at this point. So I'm stitching the rooftop. There's a lot of navy blue. I love the color scheme of this piece. Walkaway says must be the super greens, many versions, many versions of kale. Oh, I see. Because yesterday, when Kamari was here, and everybody, well, Kamari was having breakfast. It was, you know, morning, the Japan time, and we're wondering what, you know, what a diet is like. Maybe that helps her to become super fast. It's inconclusive. I'm pretty sure it probably involves some sort of kale related items. So basically, for Walkaway, she just watches Komari and she just becomes faster, guys. You know what to do. You go watch Komari. I watch her, but it doesn't work for me. I'm still very, very slow. I probably got slower because I'm just exhausted. So unfortunately, Walkaway. It does not work for everyone. Oh, Tracy just bragging now. Look at her. Tracy goes 1200. Huh? It's like my average day. Brown alien. Okay, Sarah and Lona, take her away. Tracy, off you go. It was nice meeting you. All right. I'll come and visit you with some oranges later. Oh, 1200 is just normal day. I don't know what to say. No foul words, Janine. Seriously, we need to have a word, you know? Janine, be nice to chaos. They have feelings too, a little bit. Oh, this is really relaxing. I definitely chose the right project. I think if I'm doing anything right at all, I think it's the fact that I never, felt the responsibility to work on any project, just because it's new or because it's behind. I just pick on the project I absolutely want to do. And if I follow that, I really enjoy it. I really enjoy it. You just have to follow your heart. And one more here. And I'm going to end it. And I've got 11 stitches to go. My goodness. Beautiful. Busy Mom says, I have a finish today of non-full coverage. No kidding, Busy Mom. And she says, I'll show it on my update video on Sunday, guys. Now you know what to do. A finish. Watch Busy Mom. 3371. Well, that's really nice, Busy Mum, for you to finish projects. I'd love to know what that feels like. One day, it will happen to me too. Yes. Cookies and milk. Alien diet. Okay, that one is done. And start from here. And I've got 9 stitches to go for this color. Literally, I'm flying. I'm flying, guys. Rachel Morton, great to see you. Lona says, Yogi, since my birthday is since my birthday is a lot over 2 weeks away, I've been given myself permission not to finish my glistening wings for my birthday, even though I'm at almost 65% done. It's not happening. Right, so the plan for Lona originally is to have a birthday finish, right? But it's perfectly okay. Maybe for the next birthday, right, Lona? No problem. You can still be a birthday finish, just not this one, right? And we're stitching for fun, isn't it? There's no deadlines, really. Wonderful. So Lona's birthday is in 2 weeks' time. Oh, very exciting. I've got 6 stitches to go. I can't believe it. I started off with 75 stitches or something like that. Two, 4 stitches. I think particularly when you start to build up a lot of stitches every time you finish a single color, you just feel like it's a finish, a milestone. There you go, the last one of this color in this area. I think that was pretty fast for 70 stitches, if I may say so myself. There you go, 3371. Done. The next one, 128 stitches. Ooh, oh, so it's running along. Can you see my pattern there? It's just running along this roof diagonally. It's going to be great fun. 939. I love this color. It's so beautiful. It's a midnight blue. Literally. It's perfect for this piece. 939. Lona says, Yogi, it will be done this year. Okay, fair enough. You can hit the deadline, right? End of the year. But, you know, you've got many projects. So, and Lona, are you doing the Library of Cats? I can't remember. It just seems like everybody's doing it. Nido says we're going to have to change the name of the channel. Oh, let's see. We can revise it to sometimes not so slow yogi channel. Something like that. Yeah, so these stitches literally just run along this diagonal line of the rooftop. Oh, I love the sound. So let's have a look. Okay. And this is a stitching method. Definitely, it's not possible if you're stitching with papers, right? I mean, it's not even possible with Pattern Keeper, because Pattern Keeper, you can only do minimum to max, or the other way around, with the entire page. Not entire page, an entire piece. It does not give you option to even do that page by page. And for those of you who weren't here yesterday, we are doing a paper only challenge from next Wednesday. So our Dimensions Day, and because Dimensions, they by default come with paper chart anyway. So I think it would be a very nice start, a nice day to start. And we're going to do it for 10 days, okay? So embrace the challenges and do not try to find loopholes like somebody, okay? No names, Janine. And, and just, accept the challenge. And let's do it together. And maybe we're going to find, learn new skills, learn new insights. And there's one stitch over here. And Not a Star says, I love the Mintomax featuring in Saga. I use it all the time, usually a 10 by 10 block. Do you mean 10 blocks by 10 blocks, or a block, like 100 stitches? Yeah, I suppose you can do it within a block. But I like a bit of a challenge, And to be honest, it's kind of okay. If I just, be mindful and be focused, or try to be focused a little bit more, it's not too bad. It's not too bad. Amanda says, a lot of paper patterns include total stitch count for each color. You could absolutely do min to max with paper. Oh, right. Okay. Yes, in that case, I'm just trying to think, trying to recall with heaven and earth charts. Do they include stitch counts? I don't think they do. You could only calculate it once you import it to Pattern Keeper. But you have to do it for the entire page, right? And also with paper charts as well, even if they give you stitch counts, you have to do it for the entire piece, right? You can't do it, they don't give you counts for a page, for instance. So if you're doing traveling library type of, size, it's going to be quite ambitious to do that. But that could be a nice challenge, wouldn't it? I'm sure it has been done before. Paper charts, someone just decided to do it min to max for the entire piece. I'm sure it's been done. Ginny. Amanda says, and parking was developed partially to make stitching page by page easier for paper pattern. We really were capable of cross-stitching any way we want with paper, I promise. Well, I bet. I think he's probably just getting the head around because we're so used to the convenience and everything being so quick without having to think about it. Right, so parking was, yes, I bet parking has been around for a long, long time. I think probably particularly developed for full coverage, right? Because with simpler patterns, there's no need to park. I think that's why a lot of people who have been doing cross-stitching for quite a while, they're not even aware of, the techniques, the method, because they probably never needed it. Amanda says hate includes total stitch counts. Oh, really? That's nice. Because I never really properly look at the PDFs because I never work with PDFs as they are. Normally I just import everything. So I suppose if they have stitch counts, you can just follow the number of stitches. It could be quite fun, actually. It's ambitious, but I think it would be, a nice challenge. But the thing is, though, from, logistic point of view, for a large piece, like full coverage, full size, technically you could do minimum to max. But in actual fact, unless you have a pre-gridded fabric, right? Imagine if you're trying to find, let's say, the lowest number of stitches for full coverage is, let's say, 200. We're talking about 200 stitches out of a full size heaven and earth project. I mean, logistically, it's going to be a complete nightmare to be accurate. How do you even find your locations for 200 stitches out of the entire piece? I'm sure Amanda can probably do it. No chance for me. Hello, Clover Stitcher. Yes, so Walkaway has confirmed that as well. Haid has stitch counts on their page where they list the number of scans needed. Oh, that's true. Yes, they do give you some sort of estimate of the amount of scans, sort of amount of floss you need. Yes, I do remember that. Two. I mean, who knows? Because, we're kind of relying on apps so much. Maybe at some point we're going to go, well, maybe we need to go back to the basics, do it the old-fashioned way. In some way, we're kind of trying to do that for the paper challenge. Kind of try to figure out how people used to do it and whether, can be done. Sarah Vian says, all I use is paper. And Sarah, I presume you do full coverage, full size, full coverage, right? So the 10-day challenge is going to be a breeze for you. Walk in the park. Nutty says, I parked pre-pattern keeper. And what method of parking did you do then? I suppose it's quite doable, probably for block by block, because you stay very close within a block at a time. But you could park with cross-country as well, can't you? Sort of, hybrid, cross-country and parking. Like Kamari Wave, even though Kamari travels very short distance. And she was working on paper chart. She didn't park, but she was working with paper charts until, probably about 3 years ago. Clover says, I tried to go back to paper. Man, it was awful. And I've got spoiled with Pattern Keeper. And how long did you last, Clover? Please don't tell me it's one afternoon, okay? You should join in for the paper challenge. And I think it probably varies quite a lot depending on your stitching method and the type of project you do. I mean, it doesn't have to be full coverage every day, but I think it's more challenging for full coverage. Okay, 4 stitches here. Amanda says maybe max to minimum for the challenge. Oh, right. So you're doing reverse. That's the easiest to do with cross country. And with papers, well, it depends, isn't it? Because with max to minimum, it really depends. It depends on where the largest number of stitches starts, because it doesn't mean it necessarily starts from anywhere sensible. You know what I mean? It might not be from the center, it might not be from the top left, it could be anywhere. So how do you even tackle that? And I've seen people mention in the chat they start with a maximum color. So let's say if the 310 is the highest number of colors, the number of stitches, and they start with that, and then after that they switch to minimum to max, because now they have a lot more reference points they can use to find those minimum number of stitches, something like that. It might be fun to do at some point in this century. I don't know. I'm going to just do one more stitch here. Sarah Vian says, I do both full and not. Right, so Sarah is like paper girl through and through. Lizzie says, I can't read paper patterns. I get confused. My vision blurs the symbols. So how did you manage before you got apps to work with? Were you cross-stitching then? Or maybe you weren't doing full coverage? All right, 939. I'm going to take 2 more strands. 939. And I've got 77 stitches left. Hi, Chelsea Summers. Reporting from work club. Busy Mom says, I do paper patterns for my non-full coverage. Does that count for the challenge? Yes, I do. Yeah, you're right. Yes, it does. And yes, so Busy Mom. So this is your usual practice, is it? So for non-full coverage, you actually work with paper charts, because it depends. Some patterns might only come in papers, right? Quite a lot of patterns that only come in papers, like 101 alphabet that hopefully I'm going to stitch very soon. It's only available in paper format. So I think a lot of charts are like that. Alisa says, I grew up with only paper charts and with no gridding or marking. I've only started using these things in the last 9 years, maybe. Yes, only, well, very short while ago, we were chatting and someone mentioned that gridding is kind of a new idea for them. And, you know, these are the people who've been stitching for decades. And yes, I think I was really surprised because I thought, well, how do you even stitch without gridding? But apparently it wasn't even a thing before. And people were, you know, people were okay with that. So I suppose the pre-gridded fabric is probably a modern sort of new development. But it also depends on what type of projects you're working on. If you're working on something like dimensions, well, I don't know for sure, but I suspect I might be able to do it without gridding. If I work very, very closely, you know, not wandering too far, keep everything together, I might be able to do it without gridding because I'm trying to cast my mind back from to the first time I worked on Maggie, which is more than 10 years ago. I cannot remember whether I even referred to the gridding because I didn't understand what it was. I can see blocks on my chart, but I think intuitively I just started stitching. I didn't understand what the blocks were for, the 10 by 10. But it was a very different type of chart, you know, comparing to full coverage, heaven and earth. Amanda says, what day are we starting the challenge? Next Wednesday, which is 27th. So we're starting from the next dimension cell. So I'm looking forward to it. I don't know what's going to happen. I think my speed is probably going to be reduced to 5 stitches per hour or something like that. But I'm okay with that. Chelsea says, I was never able to complete a cross stitch using paper pattern only after, paper pattern only after I got the cross stitch apps. I always messed up when I use papers. But the thing is, I think when things become easy, it's almost like when people, you know, when a calculator, I don't know when the calculators came out, but I think people used to count with a piece of paper, maybe using some sort of formula to get the numbers. But, you know, people stop doing that because they don't have to. Everybody's got a calculator on their phone. So people stop doing math manually. Thank God for that. I'd be in deep trouble if I had to count. Amanda says, I will also say that before companies like hate, confetti was a sign of a poor pattern. Oh, interesting. Right. Amanda says what people expect has changed a lot in the last 20 years. How we read patterns has changed with modern FC. I don't know what FC is, but a full coverage. Okay, yes, I'm sure. I'm pretty sure full coverage is kind of modern, but Heaven and Earth has been around for 25 years, from what I've heard. And so it's been around. I don't know whether they started with full coverage or maybe they turned into a full coverage kind of company. But the thing is, it's interesting. So if you look at Maggie, which I was stitching yesterday, and it was charted maybe close to 30 years ago, somewhere there. Where maybe they had some computer help. I'm not sure. Maybe not even that. Maybe everything was done manually. So they couldn't really create confetti because, you know, it's not just how we chart a pattern if we had to do it manually. You know, we'd probably start to compose, put colors together in some way and just trying to work out whether it looks okay. I think confetti is kind of generated by something like a computer. It's a product of, you know, of a computer, really. So the outcome is very different. I mean, if you look at Maggie, you can totally believe if someone actually sat down and charted the whole thing manually. But the details, so I think probably that's why they kind of incorporate all sorts of embroidery techniques to add details, because they couldn't create what confettis do, because confettis normally come with details, and it's, you know, we can't really produce that manually, so we use other elements of embroidery to enhance and add details, like back stitching, you know, that kind of stuff. So it's really, really interesting to see the evolution of cross stitching. I think cross stitching nowadays, if you have a chart that's based on an actual artwork. With Maggie, if you compare, only very recently I saw the sort of original artwork. It looks kind of different, not in a bad way. It's different because the original artwork has a lot more details. But not Heaven and Earth, Dimensions kind of managed to do an interpretation of the original artwork. Whereas nowadays, if you chart something from an image, our goal is to make it identical to the image itself. So it's a slightly different goal. We're not looking for a interpretation. We're looking for picture perfect, you know, reproduction with the stitches. Lona says, I'm still doing paper charts as well. Pattern Keeper, Saga, Markup. Well, Lona's using everything. That's nice. So Lona is very flexible. That one I've done. Amanda says teachers used to say it's not like you'll be able to carry a calculator in your pocket. That comment probably, didn't age very well. And it's quite amusing that when telephone, apparently when it was first created, somebody, I can't remember who it was, made a speech about one day every single village and town will have at least one telephone. And that was quite a statement looking back. Amanda says purposeful confetti was acceptable, but in general, confetti, like what exists in the modern full coverage, was a huge point of contention when hate, artsy, and golden kite were new. They won. Why weren't they? Right. So it was controversial to have confetti when the whole heaven and earth type of charts started. That's fascinating. Well, but then again, even purposeful confetti, if it's manufactured by, somebody manually, I can't imagine you could go that far because, without any tools like computer to generate that, I mean, how do you even do that manually? Lona says, yes, there were full coverage back 25 years ago. My Seasons by Strekina is full coverage from Hate. 25 years ago. My goodness. Wow. But Lona, do you see any changes of full coverage patterns that you got 25 years ago versus today? Do you find the confetti is become more sort of commonplace? Because I suppose it's very much based on the tools they use, as far as software goes. Yes, Amanda, I think you're correct. I think nowadays people look at confetti as a challenge rather than, well, I suppose some people might not enjoy it, but it's generally perceived as a part of a challenge. Walkaway says, one of my well-meaning non-stitcher friends sent me a chart and she bought at a yard sale. It's a full coverage and all hands drawn in tiny little graph paper squares. You're kidding. So someone actually built the chart manually. Full coverage and all. But I think full coverage is just the coverage area. It doesn't mean it's complicated necessarily. I mean, you can have full coverage that consists of, 10 colors and a very simple chart. I mean, it's fascinating because I literally did not even know this type of charts even existed. I didn't know people actually go out there and kit up, buy the patterns separately and then kit up the whole thing themselves. I was so shocked when I first found out. I didn't know that there were people out there just secretly, sneakily doing all this without me knowing. And I thought I was pretty, connected as far as craft goes, I've been doing crafts since I was a kid. I thought I knew everything. Clearly not. Yes, Amanda, go for it. Amanda says, I feel like I need to make a stitch with me and make a stitch with me and chart with me. Chart with me. Oh, wow. To show how paper charting was done. My goodness. Wow. Amanda says, yes, confetti on large pieces was possible to chart. It just takes longer by hand. Well, I love to see that process because in my head, you know, the whole point, the whole reason we have a lot of confetti is because that's just how the computer software interpret the colors. You know, it just spits out a lot of different colors to compose, like pixels, essentially. But to do that manually, I can't even, you know, get my head around. Let me take a sip of my coffee. I don't think I've ever seen a drawn chart. You mean like just a single copy of someone's hand-drawn charts? Just like a hobby, you know? Whoops. Hang on, let me take a sip of my coffee. Lona says Yogi has more confetti now, but that's because we have max color options, and now we didn't have 25 years ago. I know. And, you know, the fact that we have 240 colors, that's just computers, the software's limitation, and that could change. Maybe not very long, you know, in the future. We're going to have 500 color charts. I mean, considering now we have double supersize already, I can see where this is going. Can you imagine if you have a chart that requires every single color from DMC? I'm sure Komari will probably do it. Komari will be the first to sign up. Brittany says, I love a confetti party. Well, I have to confess, you know, you guys probably know, I'm a max color girl. There's something about more of everything. Not so much supersize. So far, I only have one supersize. But when it comes to colors, I don't mind having more. I'll be honest with you. Particularly if I love a piece, I just want to give it more colors. I know ultimately maybe it doesn't really make that much difference if you compare side by side, but you know, it's more fun for me. So maybe I like a little bit of a confetti party as well. I'm a confetti party girl. How's that? Lona says, I think there were more patterns that had fractional stitches back then. What are the fractional stitches? I have heard them mentioned, but I can't remember what they are. And Lona says, I'd rather have the confetti than fractional stitches. Or someone will have to explain to the chat. Susan says, chocolate time already? Oh, okay. Yes, I've got about 27 stitches on this color. I'm going to finish that, and then we can have chocolate. Thank you, Susan. Alisa says, I started stitching almost 40 years ago, so I'm still pretty old school, I remember, and charting on graph papers. But the thing is, though, if you're using a graph paper, I mean, there are probably limited things you could do. You know, you can stitch or glue papers together and try to make larger chart. You probably wouldn't, you probably wouldn't go full size heaven and earth like that. "27 stitches, no problem. It will only take me half a day. Half a day. Am I being ambitious? Shall I just have chocolate now? Why don't I have chocolate once I finish this tiny little piece of thread? Let's do that. I can probably manage about another 3 stitches with this piece. Maybe one more. All right then. Look at this. It's happening. The rooftop. Lovely. Let's take a break. Chocolate break. Happy break. There. If I zoom out a little bit, you can probably see it. I don't know what this says. It looks like some sort of reflection or something. I don't think it's a person. That would be quite spooky to have a person's head just poking out in a window late at night, in the evening, you know. A night view. This is not a haunted house. Let's have some chocolate. What should I have? Why don't I go for, for a change? Why don't I have the happy hippie chocolate for a change? Yes, I still have some buttons left. Lynn says, Komari said hello to me today. She can speak English. Oh, how? Did you go to her live today? Oh, you too. Yes, you become besties. How about me, Lynn? I'm getting a little bit jealous, Lynn. Yes, Lynn is a big Komari fan. Cheers, everyone. Let me just take my chocolate. Yeah, there you go. Happy snacking. Yeah, I think Komari has some sort of a cunning sort of translation thingy, like an app or something. Because over here, when she popped in yesterday, and the time before as well, she's managed to reply in English really, really well. It takes a little bit of time. I think she probably types down in Japanese and do the translation. But I think it's working really well. And let me know what you're stacking. I'm gonna have a drink of my coffee as well. Elisa says, I'm trying to modernize and try different methods, gridding, marking abs, etc. Well, I suppose if you've been stitching, paper patterns for a long, long time and you're really happy with that, yes, I think switching to an ab, either you really, really love it or you just hate it. You just think, well, I'd rather, work with papers. Most people probably, find some sort of benefit using an app. Amanda says, I do think designers were less likely to hand chart confetti, but it's easier to directly convert a color, even by hand, than it is to decide whether the color should replace the confetti. I'm just guessing, because I think if you're working with a piece of paper manually, and I suppose, do they superimpose the image? So I'm trying to imagine how the workflow would be, presuming the person charting the chart is not the artist. Otherwise, if it was up to me, if I have to do a chart, I'd probably just draw on the graph paper, or maybe they just take a piece of artwork and superimpose the grids on top of it, something like that, like a see-through. I'm just trying to improvise in my head how it could be done, and then work out with every single grid to see if that color is kind of workable, because there may be multiple colors within a block. Oh, my head is spinning. I'm so glad there's computer software that we can do this. See you later, Sarah. Daria, hello. And happy stitchy day indeed, Daria. Happy stitchy day for you as well. Are you eating chocolate? I am. And today is Happy Hippie, orange, and geranium. It's very grown up orange chocolate. It's slightly bitter. Amanda says charts in my 1990s magazines were hand charted and reproduced in a magazine. But I presume they're probably quite small, right? Oh dear, my chocolate. Oh, please don't melt, please. It's a little crumb. No. I presume charts in magazines, they're probably quite small. This is looking really, really nice. So if Amanda is referring to the limitation of colors, if you chart it manually, there's probably no limitation of how many colors, right? That's more of a technical restriction. But the thing is, though, did DMC always have this number of colors? Or maybe they had 200 to start with and then gradually adding? No idea. It's like the whole history lesson I have to learn. Right, let me just take one more sip of my coffee and I'll come back. Amanda says, I feel like people think we live in some subpar world before computers, in some ways, the modern world has narrowed, not widened. Well, I don't think it's either. I think it's just different, right? Because I think if you're used to certain way of living, you tend to perceive the other spectrum as limited or inferior in some way. I think they're both valid. They're both good. They're just different. Amanda says you can buy rolls of graph paper. They're a yard or 1 meter wide and multiple yards long. Okay, so you use those to chart. It's fascinating. Right, I'm back. So 939, 939. I've got 23 stitches left. Incredible. I started with 120 or 130 stitches. 939. I think Sarah will probably have to send me to an alien club after today's session. It's quite frightening. Brittany says, Yogi, when will you do an updated whip parade? I don't know. Maybe one of those Saturdays, you know. And this Saturday, we might have a members session, because last week we did marathon, didn't we? So this week, I will confirm, maybe on Friday evening or Saturday, just in case I have, emergency covers I have to do. Otherwise, I love to do a members session. Yes, whip parade at some point. But then, you know, my whip parade is like a daily, daily streaming with you. Maybe at some point, it would be interesting to talk about projects that I'm working on at the moment, and maybe projects that I have not worked on for a little bit, and my plans on what I'm going to do with them. Something like that. That could be quite interesting. So thank you for this suggestion. Because day to day, you know, I stream most days. So my mind tend not to, you know, think about whip parade and stuff like that. But I will think about that. I'll come up with something. And where am I? Hello. 1, 2. Why does it look so different? Oh, here, that's why. I'm like a block off from where I'm looking at. So here. It looks crazy, doesn't it? Let me just zoom in a little bit. Susan is having Black Forest. Walkaway says, I have no chocolate today. Chocolate less. And Betty Hankins says, it's shaking in a slice of cheese cheddar. In shaking. Why are you shaking? Okay, let me see if I can find it. 1, 2, 3. It's interesting because when I got my tablet, my iPad, I pretty much transitioned everything I used to do on papers to the tablet and kind of just, stayed like that for years and years. And so when I started cross-stitching post, Apple product, I kind of just trying to convert everything to the device and try to make use of it. But now, having done that for many years, I kind of come full circle. I'm starting to take interest in doing things manually, including maybe work with paper charts. I'm not so ambitious that I'm thinking that, I'm going to switch to papers with, this type of project. But I'm willing to explore. I'm interested. One, two. Where am I? There's two I've done. Chelsea says light table with the image and graph paper layered. Right, so you can see through it. You know what? I remember when I was working as a designer, and because everything was digital by then, and I came across a graphic designer who had been working since, I don't know, 80s or something. And he was talking about when he started working as a designer, there was no computer, because nowadays if you go to any type of office, you just expect every single desk on top of it there will be a computer of some sort. But when he started working as a graphic designer, there was no computer, and my mind was blown. I was thinking, well, because nowadays you rely on everything, like Photoshop and Illustrator, that kind of stuff, Quark, even, like older software back then for publishing, etc. And he was working with no computer. So I asked him, so how did you even create anything? And he said, just a lot of, like Chelsea just mentioned, similar to that kind of setup, kind of just using props. For instance, if they had to work on typographies, they literally had to draw or cut off some sort of templates or something. It was crazy, and stick on top of a piece of paper to create the composition. It was just crazy, and they managed because, pre-computer eras, there were magazines, there were newspapers, there were posters. They managed to do all of them without, something like Photoshop. And I think it just requires a lot of skill, like raw skills. Hey, Coyote, welcome. Lona says, I decided to buy a bullet for Mother's Day and my birthday this year and got myself a whole setup from Painting Fairy. Oh, what did you get, Lona? And Lona says next big purchases will be the scroll frame with extensions and the stand. Oh, you mean those ones like Komari's setup? Because Komari's got a full-on metal frame setup. She's got so many big ones. I don't know where she stores them because they're so huge. Yes, Lona, you have to treat yourself, you know. If you love those frames, go for it. I've got 11 stitches left with this color. Betty says, Spooky Bingo 939. Wonderful, finally. We made contact. No one is having Spooky Bingo with me. I was feeling quite alone. And this is a beautiful color. A midnight blue. And perfect for this piece. Yes, Sarah, I bet you probably have a lot of paper charts. And, you know, we're starting next Wednesday with dimensions. And it just occurred to me, because this time around, I'm working on my Maggie and Max as well with PDFs. I'll need to find my paper charts for both kids. I think they're buried somewhere in one of my drawers. I should be able to find them. Or maybe I can just print out from a PDF, right? Yes, I could just do that. But I'll see if I can find my original charts. It'll be quite fun. Chelsea says typesetting is really fascinating. So that's what it's called, isn't it? Typesetting. They literally have to set the typography manually. I mean, nowadays it's just like you can swap typefaces like in a fraction of a second. You can go through about maybe 30 of them, cycling through to see which one you like. But back in those days, they had to kind of make a decision just through experience working as a designer. It's just so weird to visualize having a desk and working desk without a computer on top of it. It's just so strange. Three more stitches. Oh dear. Sarah, take me. I'm yours. One, two, three. Last one. All right, 939, 939. Going back, 939 done. Oh my goodness, next one, 144 stitches, 144 stitches. And they're all over the place this time. My goodness, 355. This one I'm gonna need quite a few strands. Oh, Lona, you're treating yourself. So Lona is getting the frame, the metal frame, and entire set of Egyptian cotton floss, an acrylic floss organizer box. I've seen those. It's like transparent boxes where you can hang your with the hangers for all the floss. Oh my goodness, what a treat! You totally deserve it, Lona. Having to put up so much, natural disasters. That's wonderful. Vaduhi has question for the chat. She says, what do you all think about artisy patterns? Is it detailed when it's stitched? So I can't really provide any guidance. I've only got one chart from them and I barely stitched it. So Susan says, are you going to start the 101 alphabet chart during the paper challenge, Yogi? No, I haven't got my fabric sorted. I think I know where I'm going to get the fabric from. Because they're quite a different, the fabric count I have to know and decide, and also the colors as well, and the type of fabric. So I think I know which one I'm getting and what color, finally. So, and I don't know how long it's going to take them to ship. It's a UK vendor, so hopefully not very long, but, I'm in no hurry. But it's not going to be, for the paper challenge. I think with that one, we'll probably do a separate soft start with everybody. We need to work out a date. Walkaway says, I have most of my whips on scroll frames. Now I love it. I got my EZ Stitch floor stand for my birthday a couple of years ago from my husband. I love it so much. So for those of you who have those really large score frames of any kind, wooden or metal, I have a question for you. So the advantage of those score frames, obviously, is because you can pretty much fit the entire piece. Or can you, though? Because some of you have really wide and really large ones. I presume you can probably fit a full-size heaven and earth piece on top, right? So my question would be, do you find the fact that you can see the entire piece? So I presume unless you worked on a piece for a long time and gradually start to scroll your frame, don't you? And but day-to-day basis, you are looking at a very large area of the pattern of the stitch area. So, for instance, for walkaway, if you're stitching on that sad girl, right? Probably for weeks on end, you're looking at pretty much the same picture in front of you, because the size of the frame probably allows you to look at the whole thing. Do you ever get like visually fatigue looking at the same picture? Because in my mind, for me, the great thing about hoops, different sizes, you can change the sizes, and also they're very easy and cheaper to set up. But one of the main advantages that I love, smaller sort of frames or hoops, for instance, is the fact that I can frame and crop out areas that I don't have to look at. So I don't get visually tired of looking at the same picture. You know what I mean? Because I'm just looking at Kamari's setup, for instance, particularly if you stitch the same piece, you know, you have focus pieces that you look at and stitch all the time, day in and day out. For me, I'll probably just get so tired of looking at it. I just get tired of it. Do you ever get that? And we have a new member, Walk Away. Is it Walk Away? Who's the new member? Oh, Cindy. Hello. Cindy has become our new member. Welcome. Let's have a look. Yes, let's highlight Cindy. Welcome to the Yogi Squad. And thank you for your support. And I hope you enjoy your stay here. Weekly, we tend to do at least one session if I'm not working. And we do a members only stream, and where we sort of do slightly different things. I normally pull out some sort of side quest, or sometimes we have themed streams as well. A while ago we did black work, for instance. So it was quite useful, and welcome. Suki, hello, welcome. All right, let me find my starting point here. I'm gonna start from here. So a lot of Artisy fans in the chat. I've only got one pattern, my Christmas piece. No complaints so far. No complaints so far. But I don't really have a lot of experience with Artisy. And Suzanne says, I've been enabled by watching Blue Suit. Her patterns come from Fine Art Stitch website, and they're lovely. Oh, you mean the pieces she's stitching from? I don't know where they're from. Oh, that's wonderful. So Suzanne has discovered a new company to get patterns from. And what's the name of the company she got her pieces from? Because I was just too busy looking at her stitching method. I didn't even try to find out what pattern, you know, what exactly she's stitching. Lona says, I'm not sure what size fabric I need for 101 alphabet pattern. I have the book and floss already. Maybe the fabric, but not sure what I need. Well, I think those of you, because everybody's stitching that piece on different counts, I'm going to do 40 counts, 2/2, 1/2, 2/2, yes, 2/2. So we're talking about 40 count stitches basically. And for me, the size I need, because I think it's square, it's pretty much square, so I need 31 by 31 inches, and that's for my fabric count, for 40 count. So you have to work it out. And I think Joyce is doing 32 counts. Do you know which fabric count you're going for first? That may, you know, you probably need to start there so you can work out the size you need. And bear in mind, we're talking about 1/2. Sorry, 2/2. 2 strands over 2. Walkaway says seeing the entire piece laid out on the score frame is very motivating. Maybe some will find it boring, I guess. Yes, I think for me that would be one thing that I'm worried about. I, you know, if I look at the same picture all the time, same image all the time, I get very bored. Because to the point, even sometimes when I have pieces framed on hoops that I kind of set up on the stand, either Lowry or maybe this one, I make a point of turning the work the other way, turn it upside down when I'm not stitching it, just to avoid the eye contact. So I don't get bored of looking at it. And quite routinely, I would kind of, move the fabric a little bit and maybe change the size of the hoops. So, it just make it look different. Clara, regarding the fatigue, visual fatigue, says, no, never, Yogi. In fact, seeing it growing, encouraging me to keep going. Wow, we're made differently, definitely. I mean, it doesn't matter how much I love the pattern. If I keep looking at it, I just get tired. I just get uninspired. But I suppose you probably have to be different to stitch with frames, because you're looking at the same picture pretty much all the time, probably for years. Okay, where shall I move the stitches? Let's have a look. Let me come down here. Sarah says, I love my score frames, but haven't been using my hoops lately because I want to change the project. And my stitching spot is different. I sit lower now. Yes, I remember, Sarah, you showed me a picture of your frames, the one you can prop on your lap. Very, very interesting looking frames. One, two. Suzanne says it's called Find Our Stitch. Oh, so it's the name of the chart company, is it? Yes, I remember. Yes, vaguely rings a bell. I think her pieces, they were based on some sort of fine art paintings. And so if you like fine art, you can check it out. Okay, I'm gonna move to another area, because this color is just all over the place. So the next spot is over here. Hi, Cassie. Cassie says, hello, everyone. Finally done with yarn work and now to relax and stitch. Yes, join us. Great to see you. Clara says, what fatigues me is air stitching. Well, that's probably universal. So I think that's why I'm constantly surprised by the choices, stitches, choices of patterns the stitches are going for, because some of them just so blatantly air stitching, party go, come waiting for you. But people still choose patterns that has a lot of air stitching going on there. I'm just asking for trouble. Lizzie says, I like fine art, but will not stitch it. Well, it really depends, isn't it? Liking the look of something, appreciate the image is one thing, but wanting to stitch it is quite different. I think for me, if I look at the image, I just run through whether there's air stitching, because from just looking at the pattern, sometimes you don't know whether there's going to be a lot of confetti or not. And I don't mind confetti, to be honest with you, if it's beautiful. But I do run through it mentally to see if I'm going to, just lose my will to live. If there's a lot of sort of background colors or a lot of, very samey kind of stitches, color schemes. So it doesn't matter how beautiful it is. It could be really, really gorgeous image. But, I have my limitations when it comes to stitching. Some of them I just can't do it. And Sybil says, what's air stitching? Air stitching, generally, we're referring to very light colors, for instance, very subtle transitions of colors. Sometimes their patterns has got, really kind of light background, maybe a little bit of gradients and that kind of stuff. So basically, colors very close to the colors of your fabric. So sometimes you can't even see what you're stitching, that kind of stuff. For instance, like Christmas patterns, that has a lot of snow, for instance, and if you're stitching on white fabric, that's air stitching. They're stitching air. Oh, Suzanne, have you found more patterns you like? Of course, Suzanne definitely needs more, more projects. I think she's trying to compete with a busy mom. And I think there's one other stitcher that's got tons and tons of new starts. Shall I move down? No, let's stay up here. Lona says, Yogi, then don't ever try farewell to Lothlorien. There's 173,000 stitches of DMC 939. What color is it? Is it like almost white? 939. Oh, I'm not going near it. Okay, thank you, Alona, for the warning. I'm gonna stay away. Ah, Sybil, exactly. So Sybil says, I abandoned a project for air stitching. And Sybil says, I didn't know there was a name for it. Yes, I think we probably came up with a name during the live streams. It started, last year sometime. And we just started giving all these things a name that kind of makes sense. And yeah, it's a little bit like, people playing air guitar. They're just pretending playing guitar when they're not. But with air stitching, you are actually stitching, but it looks like you're pretending to stitch because you can't see it. Ginny says, I rather stitch light colors than a whole bunch of black. 939. Oh, I rather, if I had to choose between light colors and darker colors, definitely go for darker. Air stitching is not my thing. I rather do, confetti party anytime than air stitching. Oh, Monique says the project I'm doing right now has a lot of 939 and 820. Are they darker colors or 820? Dear, oh dear. Lona says, I only have 45 webs, so it can't be me. Yes, I think last year Busy Mom started about over 60 projects. And there's one other, I can't remember who it was. There's another person, another regulars, actually having similar number of starts. I don't know how you can start 60 projects a year, even for a year. I started doing full coverage back in maybe the end of 2022, and over 4 years, I've only got like 20. A majority of them probably started during our streams. I think it's quite nice stitching fine art pieces because if you love the image so much, eventually when you finish it, you can, put it on the wall. It's like having a painting. Amanda says I'm doing a partial coverage. That's all 939. Dear, oh dear. Well, Sarah is doing black on black. How is that going, Sarah? Is it still going? Black on black is mostly black, as it suggests on the title. Where should I go here? Oh, So it's blue. Okay, blue isn't too bad. Blue is definitely much better than cream, beige, white. Oh, they just send chill down my spine. I don't mind blue if I had to choose. Suzanne, oh really, Suzanne? I saw you probably had more than that. Suzanne says only 13 full coverage. Okay, just one more here. And I'm going to take another piece. Amanda says, I started about 30 or so this year. Really, Amanda? 30. So so we're in May. So the way it goes, you're gonna end up with at least 60 new pieces. So you and Busy Mom, you two can have a competition by the end of the year, and we'll probably, you know, come back to revisit what everybody started this year around Christmas. 355. And maybe we can have some sort of ranking, you know? See who the champion is. Lona says, when you have thousands of patterns and ADHD, it's easy to start them. And also, Lona, when you have master set and some spare fabric, you know, it's very easy to start new ones. This is why I always I try not to have a spare fabric, because it's just too easy. Everybody's agreeing with Lona. Janine says, I'll never do black on black, but I love the image. Yes, it's different, because if you look at the image, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful black cat with a very dark background. So it's beautiful. But there's no way I'm going to survive it. Okay, so we are talking about here. We can start here. This is like trying to work with the world map. I'm trying to spot the shapes. One, two. Hang on. Oh, Monique is smear the floss in beeswax, because some people do that to make the floss a little bit more manageable. Like, you know, to prevent tangling and twisting and stuff like that. I have tried it, but I didn't really like it because it just makes everything sticky. But I didn't know people do that in order to make the threads a little bit darker so they can see better. Does that work with beige and white? Do they actually look darker? That's very cunning. And Elisa's doing the same as well. Really? So stop them from twisting. Yes, I was aware that people were doing that for that reason, but I didn't know that it actually darkened the thread as well. It's quite a lot of work, isn't it? Learner says, I'm still thinking about trying to weave my own fabric to stitch on. How do you do that? I mean, like creating your own fabric. Lona, just way too advanced for me, even for my brain. Ah, Lona has a loom as well. That is just really alien. I think Suzanne can probably weave her own fabric as well. What kind of fabric? Are we talking, what type of thread would you be using? I'm learning so much. Yes, Suzanne is sort of weaving teacher as well. So actually, coloring, dyeing your own fabric is not enough. You have to make your own fabric now. Oh, the bar is very, very high. So can you imagine Suzanne and Lona? They're just weaving their own fabric, and and then chart, create charts manually as well, and then stitch with, I don't know. Like yesterday, we talk about with paper chart and one-legged, and bring the fabric behind you while you're stitching. That's the full challenge, okay? Make your own fabric and create your own charts and then stitch with eyes closed. That's it. That's the pinnacle of the stitching experience. Cotton threads. Ah, of course. What else? I don't know. Well, I suppose. And how do you? So you probably have to decide what count you're weaving, right? My brain is fried, pretty much. Ah, but you know, is there with those machines, is there a limitation on how big the fabric could be? Because you can weave something that's so big that you can have like triple supersize pattern on top, you know? I think that's entirely possible for them to create. Maybe library of squid that's coming out very soon near you. And somebody's going to request a you know, quadruple size, super size. And you have to weave a really large fabric for the calamari piece, a giant calamari. No kidding. Oh my goodness. Monique says, would love to make my own Ada and stamp the designs on them as well. How do you stamp the design on them? Are you talking about like making your own stamp kits? Oh my goodness. Is it normal that I'm shaking? What is happening? You know, not very long ago, I thought all cross-stitch projects, they came as a kit. You know, I didn't even know literally people buying patterns and kitting them up separately. And now we're talking about making your fabric, your stamp kit. Oh dear. Suzanne says my largest loom is 120 centimeters, but weaving that wide really isn't optimal. So what's the normal width? So 120 is the largest you could go. But the thing is, we really need a piece of monster fabric for the quadruple library of calamari. Lizzie says, I like calamari with a bit of lemon, right? But we're not stitches. Fair enough, Lizzie. Very sensible. Ah, so Walkaway says, Lona wants to find something that Komari can't do. You don't know that. Maybe Komari is secretly weaving home, fabric. She's creating that giant fabric we've been talking about. Monique says, Yogi, you have a lot of coverage on this piece. Very beautiful. I know, it looks crazy, doesn't it? And it's a miracle that I'm able to find my way at all. But then again, no one's watching. So no one's watching my stitching. So no one can correct me. Maybe I'm just improvising. You never know. I think this way of stitching at this stage is going to look like gibberish, It looks so chaotic, but at some point, suddenly, you see the picture emerging. That's the magic. Suzanne says Ada fabric is actually more complicated of a draft because as far as I can remember, even weave is woven with single strand overlapping each other, right? Ada is made with multiple strand combined together. So I'm just trying to pretend that I know what I'm talking about. I don't, okay, Suzanne. But this is somehow my perception of the difference. Suzanne says you can weave that with, but it's really strenuous. But it's possible, right? That's the important thing. If it's technically possible, it can be done. Sarah says I should start my octopus piece. Oh dear. Walkaway says that this group has ambitions. Yogi, better break out some extra kale. Yes, we probably need to mass produce like tin kale to supply the stitches because otherwise, we need really potent version of the kale, a little bit like spinach for Popeye. And strangely, yesterday we are talking about Popeye, right? And spinach and everything. Today, for some reason, my YouTube feed, recommended a short about Popeye, whoever it is. And apparently it's based on a real person. And they show the picture of the real Popeye. He looked identical to the cartoon character, You know, no mistake there. Apparently, it's based on a real person from a long time ago. So there was a person out there looked just like Popeye. What a strange world. Let me take another piece. I've got 64 stitches left. 355. Sound Stitching says it's not that we're not watching, it's just we're as lost as it looks right now. I know it looks crazy, doesn't it? How do you even follow this? I impress myself. It's a little bit like a map. If you spot the starting point, you can pretty much start to trace your path, hopefully. Lizzie says, I downed olive oil. Brutus were real people. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they're based on some, somebody. I don't know. Because they look quite interesting. And literally, if you Google, literally the person they base Popeye on looks just like the cartoon character. And the guy had no teeth. I think that's what happens to the mouse. That's why, Popeye is looking that way. Okay, let me just identify my starting point here. And good night, Lizzie. Sweet dreams. Nighty night. Suzanne, I don't even know what's going on between Lona and the discussion between Lona and Suzanne. Seriously, it's like two rocket scientists. They're talking about like or some sort of quantum, physicists talking about just stuff. I have no idea what they're talking about. Janine says weaving sounds like there's a lot of a mass involved. I'll be terrible at weaving. And same here. Considering, my go-to method is the blue suit method. Weaving is definitely not my calling. Lisa. Thank you so much, Elisa. Elisa says, actually, I'm watching you, Yogi. At least one person's watching, That's good to know. Thank you, Elisa. You're my favorite today. You're my favorite, okay? Luna says, I'm watching too, gridding and discussing the quantum physics. Miss Suzanne. Because every time if I watch a YouTube video trying to explain quantum physics, I'm just thinking the person is probably having a laugh. They're just using like word salad and pretending that it's all making a lot of sense. Hi, Travis. Hello. How are you doing today? Are you reporting from work club? And Lona, how are you doing your gridding? You're not gridding the entire fabric, are you? And Lona is very slowly gridding a 32 count fabric. Why are you gridding 32 count fabric? For what? Is 1 over 2? Or 1 over 1? Or 2 over 2? I don't know what I'm saying. I don't know. I mean, Lona is in alien, territory, so I can't really apply normal logic. But I wouldn't grit the entire fabric, because if all you have to do just have one mistake, everything else is incorrect. But that's me. I know Gemma, she grits her entire fabric and she's fine. She never makes mistakes. She's an alien as well. Walkaway says, I picture Lona and Suzanne in front of an enormous blackboard with writing all over it and a whole lot of chalk in their hands explaining to each other. Yes, just like maths teachers. They always like scribble on the blackboard and nothing makes sense, It's just like, okay. It's a little bit like that. So Sarah says, my son talks like that. He started college at 13 and always been way over my head. I know. Well, it's interesting, isn't it? But then again, to think about it, if I start to get technical about design stuff, maybe I start to sound like that to other people as well. So that's entirely possible. Oh, I've got a little knot underneath. I think no one can save me tonight because no one can work out if I'm actually making mistakes or not. Oh, Travis is reporting from work. How is it going today? I hope everything's going very well at work. Oh, wow. Sarah, you have a very, very, you're like a genius man as a son. Ah, so Alyssa, you're gridding your fabric the same, very similar way to Gemma, because Gemma is using a thread to do it as well. I find it really fascinating because you have to kind of, stitch over. You have to kind of avoid the threads as you're stitching the entire piece. It's really interesting that this is, kind of her favorite way of gridding. And the patience that she's got to grit the entire fabric with those threads is just mind-blowing. And some people are made differently. Travis says, I might slowly be getting Tia on board for a massive Pokemon piece. Really? Really? Is Tia actually going to allow you to have another project? Maybe both of you can work together. You can start from one end and she can start from the other end. And at some point, you're going to meet at the middle. I think that this will probably get her excited. You know, the best way to persuade someone to do something for you is to get them involved as well. That's the trick. Oh my goodness. Travis says Tia showed up on my break with the Marek. It was a nice surprise. So they just turned up at work without telling you. Oh, Travis, I think she's checking on you. All right. See if you're getting to, doing something naughty. No, I'm kidding. It's love, She just turned up with Marek. As a surprise. Did she bring you food as well? Some sort of snacky thing? Homemade, Like a homemade, I don't know, cookies. That's so sweet though. But I'll probably get slightly nervous if Mr. Yogi just suddenly showed up at the studio. I'll probably go, what are you doing here? Alisa says, I have the All Creations Pokemon piece. Which one is that? There's so many different ones. I know there's the latest one. It's really, really huge. So Alyssa is the one you've got, the latest version. That's so huge. I mean, how do you even find a fabric? Is it as big as the Double Cat library? I wonder. I have no concept of the sizes now. I'll see. Hello. Good afternoon. Travis, so things haven't changed much. So if you have to finish your first Pokemon piece, that is just like before, isn't it? I was under the impression maybe Tia is buckling a little bit, and is going to allow you to start a new one without having to finish the current piece. It's going to take a few years. Oh, she's dangling that carrot in front of you. Susan said, Mr. Yogi at the studio with a bouquet of kale. That's so romantic. Oh, I'm gonna cry, Susan. If he just turned up with a bunch of fresh kale, I'll probably marry him on the spot. I'll propose to him. Travis says I might get it as a stamp kit from Painting Fairy. They have it on up to 18 counts. Well, Travis, well, it doesn't matter where you get the new kit from. It's the timing, is when are you allowed to have it? If you have to finish the current piece in order to move on to the next one, we're talking about years. You know, the trick is to actually convince Tia for you to have it now. Like now. Travis says it's incentive to finish. Well, but the thing is, you're already stitching that piece constantly, and we're talking, at least few years before you finish this piece. So by then, we don't even know if Painting Fairy is still going to be there. I mean, fingers crossed. They seem to be doing okay. But we don't know, do we? I mean, maybe by then, by the time you finish your, stamp kit, we'll be fighting zombies, without electricity and all that stuff. Survival situation. Lona says, Mr. Yogi need to understand if he shows up at the studio, he has to join the session. Well, he's a yoga teacher as well, but we make a point of not teaching in the same places too much, or at least not at the same time. So we have kind of space and time away from each other. Imagine if we just like teaching at the same studio, bump into each other all the time. That would be terrible. For me, I don't know about him. I like a little bit of space, to miss him from time to time. It doesn't happen very often, but at least from time to time. You definitely need some space away from each other, for sure. Hello, Dawn. Dawn says, good evening, stitchy friends. Good to see you all. Good to see you, Dawn. Are you stitching right now? And what are you stitching? Travis, I love this. This is the right strategy, okay, guys? We need to support Travis on his quest of getting this kit. Travis saying, I might just buy it and ask for forgiveness later. Yes, you probably have to come up with a strategy, when it comes to forgiveness. What can you do for the redemption? I'm sure she's gonna be fine. It's a stitching kit. It's not like, you're getting a new girlfriend or something. That would not be acceptable, okay? Yes, Sola likes it as well. Yes, Travis, you have the chat support and my support, okay? We're fully behind you. Just do it. We want to see the new project. Lona says, Travis, hope you live long enough to ask for forgiveness. You're going to scare Travis away. He's going to chicken out. Monique says, Travis, we both need to ask for forgiveness because I just bought 2 new kids from the Stitch Club. Yes, you two can probably, get together and come up with some sort of support group for each other. I think your partners probably much rather you get a new stamp kits rather than a new partner. It's so much better. Lona says they just spent about $400 on painting fairy. I'm not sorry I did it. Yeah, it's your birthday treat. You definitely deserve it, and you're getting stuff that you're going to enjoy so much. You're not wasting money at all. Absolutely, go for it. Dawn says I'm stitching. I'm working on the same old piece. It's a stamp kit from Painting Fairy. Oh, Painting Fairy is very popular tonight. And Dawn says I usually do counted, but stamp kit is a nice break from counting. Yes, I'm hoping at some point in the future, before apocalypse, okay, that I can find a stamp kit I like. Because I looked around, I just have not found one that I go, oh, I want to stitch it. Because today, because my go-to projects, if I'm feeling slightly, a little bit tired maybe, and, not able to focus as much, I stitch something like this, even though has been, a little bit of a journey, requires a little bit of brain power, tracking the stitches. But 14 count projects would be my normal go-to if I need, something a little bit nice and easy to stitch. But yeah, you just need to switch around and not to force yourself to do anything really, because sometimes you feel like, oh, I have to do 25 count, confetti party when you don't really want to. Oh, I've got 6 stitches left for this one. I cannot believe it. I started off with 140 something stitches. I've got 6 left. And where are they? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 2 over there. Oh dear. Okay then, I'm going to take one more piece. 3, 5, 5. So Elisa actually picked up the gridding method from Gemma. Yes, it's quite unique, isn't it? I don't know how many stitches actually grid the fabric with those threads. And do you not find it kind of annoying because they're everywhere and you have to avoid them? I know you can't catch them, but still, they're kind of in the way. And it takes a lot of time just to grit the whole piece. It's like the project before the project even starts. Okay, so I've got 6 more stitches to go with this color. I cannot believe it. Hang on, where am I? Over here. All right. 3 stitches. Falling off the screen. You can't even see what I'm doing. That's how big this area is. Sola says, Yogi, one of my comments got red line and it turned grey. Did I do something wrong? What? You mean on a live chat? I have no idea. What does that mean, guys? Red lined? I've never seen that happen before, ever. Sola, what have you done? What did you say? The YouTube is trying to censor you. Did you mention calamari? Oh, it's banned, you know. And no mentioning of pineapples. I think YouTube just automatically filter them out. Dawn says, I also got a new stitching lamp with a magnifier on it so I can see. That really helps, Dawn. Wow. Yes, definitely get the lighting and, you know, if you need some sort of magnifier, get that sorted because there's just no point straining the eyes. It's just no fun, is it? 2 more stitches. Yay. Oh, I cannot believe it. I'm flying today. I'm flying. Okay, 2 more stitches. I'm done with this color. And I think I've only got maybe 3 or 4 more colors in this area. So the numbers are going to go way high. The next one. All right then. Lovely. Oh, I cannot wait to find out the number of stitches. Oh, next one, 168. My goodness. 168 stitches, next one. Utterly shocking. Travis says, you should join us in the Pokemon world, Yogi. I think I just, you know, admired from afar. Yes. I like to watch the progress that you make, you know. 3A63. So maybe Travis, you know, you get a new kid, right? And keep it from Tia until you can invite Tia to come to the chat and you can make the announcement live here on the stream because it's much safer to make the announcement when everybody's watching. She will probably be, you know, a little bit less angry I'm sure she's going to be okay. She will probably go, oh, you silly person. You could have just got it. It doesn't matter. I don't mind. If you're happy, I'm happy. You know, this is what Tia is going to say. Alisa says the old generation, I'm referring to the Pokemon chart. The all generations one is the really big one. I purchased the stamp version from Painting Fairies, 14 counts, 150 by 195. Oh, that doesn't sound like huge. Oh, centimeters. I was thinking stitch counts. That doesn't sound like a lot. Oh my goodness. So it's a stamp kit, 14 count as well. Is that the same version as the one I saw, the 6-part chart by the law something? I can't remember his or her name. There's a law person came up with a chart, and it's like broken up in 6 parts because they're so big. And it's probably a good idea to get a stamp kit for that one as well. I think the one you have is probably the one Travis wants to have, isn't it? It's the same version. As Lona says, I still want that Wear My t-shirt. I think on one side it would say, where am I? And the other side would go, got it. I found it. Janine says Yogi is going to be hard for anyone to guess your stitches tonight because of all those floating stitches. But the thing is, you can probably gauge the number by just kind of add up all these, individual stitches per color. But of course, that's, provided you're able to recall how many stitches per color that I've been stitching. It's not easy. And that's why tonight is going to be a surprise when it comes to stitch count, because I have no idea. I can't do maths in my head. I know it's probably going to be a few stitches. It's probably going to be more than 60. I don't know. Sola. I think you're being paranoid. I don't know. Maybe for whatever reason, YouTube sometimes does, has kind of glitches. I'm not aware of seeing anything on the screen and then disappear. Chivers, hello. Passion for stamping says, how about European town? You're referring to stamp kit, right? We talked about this before, actually, a while back. And yes, someone suggested that I should have a European town. And I think Janine has, is a stamp kit as well you've got. I had to look at the pattern. It's quite nice, but it's not really for me. So I think for me, it has to be instantly in love for me to want to stitch the pattern. So yes, I know. I'm going to keep looking. I'm going to keep looking. One day I'm going to find a pattern I like. It's fine. I can just stitch 14 counts. It's quite relaxing as well. Travis says, I'll use Marek's cuteness as a shell. When when Marek grows up and he finds out using him as a human shell, he's not going to be very impressed. Dawn says, Yogi, what is the largest piece you worked on, and on what count was it on? So currently, the largest piece I've got is a supersized full coverage from Heaven and Earth. It's Sleep Time. So it's a piece of artwork by Chiro Marchetti. And I need to work on that piece, okay? That reminds me. It's supersized, and I'm working on it on 25 count. I love it, actually. There are just so many pieces I need to cycle through. Lona says, Yogi, I still want my mug. Lona, do not, I won't be able to help you because I don't work at the customer service. You need to contact the company so they can send it to you, because they don't know me, you see. I'm just one of those random content creators that creating my merchandise through them. So you need to contact them. And they will be able to help you. Oh, walk away, 60%. Congratulations. Well done. 60% is very close to 100%. A little bit closer than 50%. That's amazing. Monique says, European town is beautiful, even with the back stitching. Oh, so it's got back stitching with that piece, is it? Is it the stamp kit version or the charted version, the counted version? Because there, someone mentioned that piece, and I thought it was a new pattern or something like that. It turned out everybody's got a copy. It's been around for ages and ages, seems. Quite a well-known piece for stitchers, apparently. Whoops. What is going on here? It keeps getting tangled in a knot. Oh my God, it's nearly 2:30. Not half past 2, 12:30. I had no idea. The last time I checked, it was 11:30. What happened? I lost about an hour. It's aliens. I knew it. I'm going to do a few more. I think it's probably too ambitious to try to finish 154 stitches remaining on this chart. Yes, Janine, I think tonight is going to be more than 60. I'm pretty confident. Maybe 61. What do you think, Ginny? Alisa says, actually, Yogi, I found that doing the gridding itself is a little tedious, but not as bad as I thought. I do find that I have to work around the threads a little bit, and that would be only complaint. Yes, I suppose, once you gridded the entire fabric, you can't really go back. If you don't like the experience, you just have to stay with it. And also, you need to be confident that you have gridded everything correctly for the entire piece, right? Because all you have to do is to miscount it one stitch. Everything else is off. And for me, that's terrifying. That's why I always grit as I move forward. because I miscount everything. As you can see me demonstrating every day, my counting skill isn't great. Dawn says, Yogi, aliens are also cross-stitch gods. They're little demons on your shoulder, whispering to you to keep stitching. I know, it's so weird because normally, you know, we start the stream and then we have chocolate time. So that's kind of a timestamp for me. We normally have it at around 10:30. UK time, so that will register in my mind, and then the rest of the stream will kind of just flow by. Sometimes it just feels like, you know, I've just started and suddenly everything, you know, suddenly we're like past midnight. It's really scary. What is happening when we're stitching? Time just disappears. So I'm going to do a few more here until I come to a natural stop. I don't know, today is just flying by as usual. Janine says, I'm going to say at least 285. Oh, we'll see how it goes. I'll probably just keep stitching a few more just to break that record. just to prove you wrong. I'm gonna do this little area here, just a little cluster of stitches here. And then I will stop. Because it's 12:30. Where's time gone? Oh, it's the start of the weekend. That is true. We're technically Friday, aren't we? So it is very true. So does that mean time just flies quicker at a weekend? I'm gonna do another 5 stitches. Let's see how it goes. 2. Oh dear, it doesn't match. I think I just stitched in a completely wrong area. I think my focus is just, where am I exactly? Here. And there are 2 stitches here. Oh dear. I think I have just, how come it doesn't match? Oh yeah, over here. Okay, I've got it. And I've got 3 stitches. 1, 2. I don't know where I am. Where am I exactly? Okay, 2 stitches down here. But how come this bit doesn't look correct? I have no idea what's happening here. Let me just get these ones. 3. Okay, there are 2. But there's 1 stitch missing. I think that's why it kind of threw me. I'm gonna fudge this stitch. So it's going to match. The colors are very similar. Ah, this stitch is 1 stitch off. That's why. I'm sure no one watching right now can figure out what I'm doing. And that's great. No one can correct me. Okay, I'm going to stop here because I'm going to get lost from this point on because my focus is totally gone. I cannot wait to find out my stitch count. Today is going to be the day, you know? If I'm going to break some sort of record, it will be today. 3863. 3863. Travis says, I hope this next hour and a half fly by. I want to stitch. Oh dear. Yes, Travis, still at work. It will happen. It will happen. Yes, let's have a look. Dun, dun, dun. Here we go. Let me zoom out a little bit. It's looking nice, isn't it? Because when it's really close up, you don't know what you're looking at. But now zoomed out a little bit. And you can see this roof is definitely happening. And the remaining area here, I don't know what's going on here. Some sort of brick wall. A lot of, you know, orange and reds happening and brown. Lovely jubbly. Are you? Yes. Oh, guess my stitches are flowing in. Lona says 325. And Tracy, 321. Passion for stamping, 347. Sarah, 325. Everybody's very similar, 325. Someone has been doing the maths. Someone's got the calculator out. And Brianne, Brianne has alert herself to offer 327. My goodness. And Grace, 425. Grace, you're my favorite. Grace, you're my favorite today. Here we go, guys. Are you ready? Let's have a look. There. Okay, let me turn this off and the crazy 5x5 gridding off. So this is where I've been working on within this box here, this blue box. It doesn't look huge, but actually, you know, it's kind of big. And Solar says 411, Dawn 301, Busy Mum 410. Oh, some stitches actually have confidence. What? Alisa says 500. You're my favorite, Alisa. It's official. And Linda 400. Anybody, any one of you offering more than 400, you're my favorites today, okay? Here we go. And I'm going to count down to 3, 2. Are you ready? I'm ready. 1. Here we go. Oh, not too bad. Not too shabby. 373, which is not that far away from 400. Would you say? 373. Round of applause for Yogi. Yes. Slightly, not quite 400, but very, very close. Probably closest I've been in a long time. Okay. So slightly more than 60 stitches. Wonderful. And Grace says, I thought it was your favorite. You're my favorite. You're my favorite. Do not tell anybody. You're my favorite, Grace. Yes, there you go. Very nice. And 373 is a great number as well. Yes, walk away is doing yogi move for Yogi. Wonderful. Guys, time just flew by when I'm stitching with you. And I enjoyed it so much. This is definitely hit the spot for me today, and I hope you enjoy your projects as well, whatever you've been doing with me while I'm stitching this, you know, crazy, you know, whatever it is right now. And I'm going to keep going. I think it will be glorious once I finish and complete this area. It's going to look so good. So tomorrow, Friday, we don't have stream. Okay, we take a day off, and maybe there are some brave soldiers, live streamers, is going to do a stream for you guys as well. But we will meet on Saturday, and we probably will have a members live stream as well, so come join me, and I will probably bring out one of the side quests and to stitch with you, and we can chat. And then we have, of course, our Amy Stewart style together afterwards as well. So I'm looking forward to see you then on Saturday, and have a great Friday as well. And it's 20 minutes to 1 o'clock, and from a sleepy London town, Yogi is going to sign out. And thank you for all your support, and I'm really enjoying stitching with you every day. So have a great Friday, and I'll see you on Saturday. Nighty night, everyone. Night night. Love you all. Bye bye.